Hey everyone, welcome to the video. We're playing on an account with tanks today, and they've been a decent path because unlike rifle Zooks, they don't have to worry too much about splash defenses. You can just drop them and they should last pretty much a whole hit. But we'll use them today and see how far we get. So first we match this 4 ER, and the only thing we can help with our tanks is the flare, which even though it's one ability, you can still do a lot having it around. We use that flare to get all the tanks in a nice spot, and you might see these hits sped up just a bit because it's really just watching tanks go across the map. But here we do 3 tanks left, 3 tanks on the right, and send a flare near the back. We do have level 3 flare on this account, so it helps keep the tanks in a good position. And when the flare is almost done, we drop 2 more on the bottom. And right now they're around all 4 ERs about the same time, which is how much the flare helps. They just start shooting the buildings around it and kill the ER. And that's pretty much all to it. Here we get at 243. And facing people with Scorchers, building our base sort of slowed them down. And I think it's mainly because there are a lot of buildings around each ER, so Scorchers can't really split drop, they have to go 1 ER at a time. And we'll move on to the next one. So here we have a 5 ER, and we've been facing a few of them. This one doesn't have sniper towers, but looks like most other defenses. But we'll run the same type of hit, flaring a bunch of tanks deep in the base, and when the flare expires, maybe dropping a few on each side. The one difference about 5 ERs is it's a lot bigger, so we'll have to do a little more delayed drops. In this case, we will take a rifle Zook on one side, and it might be a little faster, but I think full tanks can work also. Taking just 1 tank on the left and 3 on the right. And the flare doesn't have to be all the way in the back, but anywhere so tanks on both sides go in that general direction. And if you have a different level flare, you can always experiment and see where they stop when the flare is done. And based on that spot you find, you can keep doing it every hit. Just like the other hit, everything's in a decent spot, so all the ER should die around the same time. Don't have troop health, so Zooks die to 1 mine, but we still have enough for that ER. And looks like the last ER is probably the top right one. And we were thinking maybe you could bring another tank, but I think it's still a decent balance. Looks like we'll pull a 240. And a close one, but still fast enough. We'll check another one out. And here we have a 4 ER, so see if we can do another split drop. The one difference is there's no left ER on the beach, it's more deep within the base. And in this case, we can just do 4 on each side. We're not going to send a flare right away because we don't have GB for a second or third one. So maybe we'll let them clear a few buildings and then send the flare. There are a couple machine guns on the right, and when tanks are right by them, do you have a chance of getting low health? But in most cases it still should be fine. So now we'll send that flare, and I think we might do just 1 here. And even though they're not so far up, they're still going to split nicely. Floody explodes and clears some mines, which is another reason why if you're base building, you might not want too many mines around Floody, because when it blows up, it just clears all of them for the attacker. We might get these ERs on the side at the same time, but we can start flaring, and let's see what time we get. Looks like a 239. With a lot of tank times, we're aiming for around 235 to 240, and it's another win. Another benefit for tanks is it's a little better for no IT players, since we're not losing too many of them each hit. And looks like here we got another 5 ER, this time he has snipers too, but I think we'll try the same approach. On the far left ER, it's only a machine gun, so drop 1 tank there and 3 on the right. As we get closer, setting that flare. And the timing is really for the left tanks. As it passes that corner, we send the flare. And it's level 3, it's enough time for getting them to a good spot. Then we drop the last tanks on the beach. The ones on the far left hit a shock mine, which is a little annoying, but they'll still get the ER down. It's really just a matter of time at this point, because using a flare really wouldn't help. All the tanks are at a decent spot. You probably can't do these hits as people get cannons, boom cannons, but for those who are rushing 5 ER, it seems to work pretty well. We'll pull out 241. Looks like this other guy is also using tanks. It isn't a bad combo, especially since you don't really need a hero with him at 4 ER. And if you can skip those 42 keys, it can let you get ahead for a while. And we'll show one more hit. For the last one, we got another 4 ER. And it's almost exactly like the base we're running, so we might hit it a bit different. We could try hitting from both sides, but there's a lot of buildings on the left, so they might take too long on that side. Instead, we can try going all from the right, and this actually is the first time we're seeing our base, so trying something a little different. Like maybe the hit we've been doing could work, but sometimes it's good to try new hits, at least so you know whether it works or not. So we'll drop them all from the right, and waiting till they kill that flame so we can flare. Don't have that much GB when you drop all of them. Once this ER goes down, we can move to the right side, and sending a few flares there, hoping they do a nice split. Even passing by those machine guns and the floaty, and see how much damage they're taking. It's not a whole lot, but they're about half health now. And looks like we got lucky with the split. Not a whole lot of tanks left, but still a good amount. And once the right ERs die, you can just flare the last one. It's not as fast as other hits, but we'll get a 232. And looks like it's fast enough. So we got 19 on this account, and we've been saving for 5 ER. Even though we've actually beaten a few of them, I think cannons are still gonna change things up, because even having 5 of them can really stop that tank hit. Not to mention you have boom cannons right after, and then we'll see which is gonna be better. Maybe rifle tanks are a thing, or rifle Zukavan. And for those of you who are using tanks, how are you liking them so far? Since at 4 ER, again you're not losing too many, so for no IT I think it's a great combo this season. Scorchers still are another option, but they may not be so good at 5 ER. It's a point of the season where it really depends on what's going to be changing the next few days. But that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.